Hey, this is Jeff Nelson, and today I want to talk about. Oops, sorry, talking. Hey, this is Jeff Nelson, and today I wanted to talk about something that people might not really understand. And I was reading something on Facebook this morning, and it was talking this long-winded post about somebody's meditation, and in the post they're talking, my meditation was so intense, and my meditation was this way, and my meditation was so deep. And I'm sitting there thinking, well, you can't meditate. I can't meditate. You can't meditate. Nobody can meditate. Not at least in the construct of which you perceive yourself now. The I that is in your head, the emotional connection to that I, the I that is in this body, that identity, is the very thing that's holding you back from meditating. So you actually never, ever meditate. All you do is lay back and relax from the obstruction of that thing which is preventing your natural state. And your natural state is meditation, right? Your only authentic experience is actually meditation. The construct of I is that thing which is settled down when you're in a deep state of meditation. So I realize how ridiculous this is, and people are walking around saying, I am meditating. Well, that's not, you're not meditating. Nobody's meditating. Meditating is, at very best you could say, it's a shift of attention to what is authentic, and it is becoming familiar with your mundane self, with that which is authentic, that which precedes your identity. So there's no way you cannot not be meditating. It's just that you, as you identify as now, believe you to be something else. Anyway, to prove this to you, do this simple exercise. Okay? So sit, stand, whatever. It doesn't matter. Meditation requires no posture. Meditation requires no prior learning. Meditation requires, in the end, no effort whatsoever. So try this out. Have a seat and take a simple breath and ask yourself this question. If the voice in my head were me, would I be able to observe it as I am doing now? Now, as you ask that question, feel and sense the one that is observing the question. And then as your mind analytically answers, as it will, ask the question again. So this is called self-inquiry. If I were the voice in my head, would I be able to observe it as I am doing now? You see, the voice in your head is the illusion, this identification that constant going back to. It's the source of so much trouble, constantly going back to, I feel this way, this is what I need, or all sense of self, all selfishness comes from that identity in your head. But that's an illusion, as you will quickly see, because when you intuit and feel, and everyone knows the experience is universal, that one observing the identity, the voice, is actually yourself. And then when you seek it, when you feel and try to sense that, what happens? Well, you'll see. But some breadcrumbs on the trail are, you will start to feel an opening. You'll start to feel a vastness, a spaciousness. This is what you hear talked about as detaching. What are you detaching from? You're detaching from the illusion that you are this separate identity. And when you inquire in this way, it turns analysis, it turns that analytical part in on itself. And you then will come to realize that you, as you see yourself, are never meditating. Never. It's never happened. It never will. There's only one state, and that one state is that universal spaciousness. That's what it is. And we just move our attention from the state where we're absorbed in the identity, and then we can move our attention to that one that's always observing. But you're the one doing both. So that's the magic. Point is, you don't meditate. And the quicker you come to grips with getting away from all the ego descriptions and all that stuff, the more peace you're going to find. And that's why when I talk about these neuroplastic processes, I always start with witnessing, right? Because how can you change the mind if you are the mind? How can you change the monologue if you're the monologue? You need to become the director of the monologue, and that's how you do it, through this self-inquiry, through this stepping back. Now, it's baby steps to breathe and to sit straight or to have a posture. In truth, yoga is just a vehicle. It is not the end goal. Meditation is the vehicle. It's not the end goal. The truth is that it's always been there. It's the only thing that's been constant. You can observe this too. Think about your life as a kid and as an adult, and then when you're older, what is always been there? Unmoving, unwavering, right? An identity that is beyond your identity. You have witnessed yourself changing from the thoughts of a child to the adolescence to the adult and into old age. So who and what is doing that observing? Putting your attention onto that one doing the observing, it changes things. You won't be able to describe it because you're getting beyond description. You're getting into the direct experience of what you are, your authentic self, which doesn't need to meditate. There's no meditation in that world. It's just the way it is. It's a radiating stillness. It can be described as just a sense of isness at times. Okay, and you will find that if you put your attention on it, you'll have a physical effect in your body, and that's the beauty of neuroplasticity too, because you can then feel that little opening in your body, and you can wire yourself, and that's what I keep encouraging people to do. You can wire yourself so that that external perceived threat can become a cue to remember the spaciousness that you are. Okay? So you don't meditate. No one meditates. All you do is get the obstacle of you out of the way. How can you do that? Well, you can spend a lot of time breathing and then you'll drift into this state. You can do a bunch of yoga and you'll drift into this state. Or you can use self-inquiry and you will become stable in this state, because it is something that can be done all the time, everywhere. And self-inquiry has been around it's probably one of the most ancient meditation techniques ever. I myself have practiced it and can tell you that it's super effective. The typical questions in traditional self-inquiry are not using the language that I just put out to you. I actually, after years of practicing, discovered this and was like, in English, in Western language, this is the way to achieve communication on what this state is like. So sometimes they would tell you, the teacher might say, are you aware of being aware? And in that checking in, when you're doing that, you fall back in on yourself and you ask, am I aware of being aware? See, there's a little intuitive moment there, that little gap where your mind folds in on itself, in that silence. That's meditation, that pure, still state. Okay, and so an easier way to do it, and that's why I say it that way, is if you were the voice in your head, would you be able to observe it as you are doing now? If you were your emotions, would you be able to observe them as you are doing now? Right, so that's the basis of meditation, and then you can become stabilized in that state, and that's the gift of neuroplasticity. You can train your body to feel, hear, know, and understand what that silence is. That silence has a physical feeling to it. It's a breadcrumb on the trail. When you ask that question and you feel that spaciousness, you will wonder, well, am I there? Am I achieving this? That's how you know, because you will feel it in your body. You will feel an elevated state move, and you will feel this vast spaciousness, and you will feel like they say, it's all one. I am the universe. This kind of goofy shit. The point is that it's a felt sense of spaciousness in your body. So anyway, you can't meditate, so don't even try. Just remove the one who believes that they can meditate and or not meditate, and just put your attention on the one that's always been there. Well,